Hey, can you hear me?
What's up? Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, wow. I never experienced this before.
Yeah, first time for everything. Gotta love it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was just giving a quick little intro on, like what your company does, but let me just turn it right back over to you.
All right, fair enough. Hello, everybody
Okay.
who's tuning in. I think we're on like a repeat. People are going to see a whole bunch of drafts, but I do appreciate you for tuning in. Long Island Gaming League. We're based out here on Long Island. We focus on esports and education. We've been doing so since 2019. A little bit about myself. I am not the best gamer in the world, so I probably won't win any tournaments, and I don't stream. So that's definitely not how I would be making money in terms of the gaming industry or investing. But that's also why this video and this webinar and this course has all been created, because we want to share some of the other ways in terms of, if you're a gamer or a parent of a gamer, how you could actually earn money outside of winning them in tournaments or spending hours via stream. The industry itself, if many of you may or may not know, it's $1 billion industry, which is crazy. And it's just now started out. So when you think about the scale of an industry that's just at $1 billion and it's global, which means it's not just focused on here, there's a lot of opportunity. So you may have different companies, from a stock market perspective, to where it's a local company, and it's not really sold in other markets. But when you think of gaming, because of its global aspects, there's a lot of opportunity that is there for yourself or for those who might be parents of young gamers. The one thing that I would say is that if you're familiar with a particular game you used to play as a child, I'm sure that game still exists today. And if you had the opportunity to actually invest in that, you'd be surprised where that money would end up. So since the industry is only getting bigger, as an older gamer, you can invest if you're familiar with any type of investing. But the more important thing is that if you're a parent of a gamer, now is even more important for them to invest in this opportunity, because it's not like you're going to stop them from playing video games. And you're probably going to spend your money on getting them video games. And then when they have enough money, they're going to buy those same video games. And you know who's making all that money? The companies that produce those games. So what I wanted to say and bring this to a hold or to the forefront is to kind of shine some light on the things that are not often shined when it comes to esports. A lot of parents are trying to take their kids off of the video games. They're trying to pull them away from the video games because they think there's no real opportunity. And honestly, that's not the parents' fault, because what is being put out there is that, oh, these kids are just addicted to these video games, or they're isolated, or they're this, they're that. But nobody's talking about the real opportunities. So stock market investing for young gamers is a real opportunity, and it isn't going to take away their time. It's not going to hurt their education. It's not going to do any of that, because investing, like anything else, you invest and then it does the work for you. And clearly, I'm not the stock market investing expert, and I'm sure Mr. X is going to be able to speak a little bit more highly on that. But when it comes to video games, I can tell you that it's not going anywhere. The Long Island Gaming League business itself was built upon an industry that didn't exist a couple of years ago. And here we are, thriving in this industry. And we did it from a perspective of educating ourselves on the industry, educating ourselves on the growth. And what we want you to do, and what we hope that you take away from this webinar that we're doing live, is that you yourself will not only fully understand the esports market, the growing, and how it's growing as an industry, whether you can relate to it in terms of playing, or whether you're hearing about it from your colleagues, your coworkers, or your kids are playing, know that it's not going anywhere. So I want to kind of pass the mic, so to speak, to Professor X so he can speak about some of the things he has, and then we're going to collab and kind of bounce back and forth off each other. And always feel free to comment with any questions you have in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make sure I answer them if they fall into the esports realm. And I'm sure Mr. X will do his best when it comes to stock market investing.
2020, but I've been investing in the stock market personally for over 20 something years. And one of the motivations for starting the company was that I wanted to teach the everyday price, the stock market, to build wealth at an event, and really learned about what young people with, how to pursue careers in the gaming industry, but then on top of that, how to use the skills that they learn in the gaming industry, to pursue other careers, outside of the game industry. Children that we problem solving, focusing and things of that nature. I had said to him, I'd already just mentioned, how much money, companies are making from, our children and children that we are guardians of and mentors, making in the industry. And I said to myself, at the same time, these, young adults, are playing, they could utilize their experiences, their knowledge of these games, right? Using information that they already know to make money for themselves. In the time, parents and guardians and mentors of these young gamers could actually learn about it for their young gamer, because this is really, really important. Why do I say that? Well, one reason, if you're aware, student debt in America is at an all-time high, right? A lot, hundreds, thousands of people are in because of college, right? For whatever reason, they didn't get a scholarship academically, or athletically. Parents didn't put aside money for them. They had no guidance, on how to fill out, finance things of that nature. But as a parent, if you could provide and accumulate capital, money to assist your child with going to college or going to a trade school, that could make their life tremendously easier as they get into their adult life. And even though the title of the course that we put together is titled Stock Market Investing for Gamers, and is focused on could identify, gaming companies in the stock market, which is the best ones that they could invest in. It's much larger than that, because it's the same information that we're teaching in the course apply to investing in any company in the stock market. So you as a parent, if you were to purchase this course for your young gamer, not only would your young gamer learn how to either invest in individual companies in the stock market, or maybe invest in a gaming, exchange traded fund, also known as an ETF, which is like a basket of maybe 10 gaming companies. But they could also take that same knowledge, invest in other companies, because investing of the three pillars of wealth, the other two, in my opinion, is starting your own business and investing in real estate. And stock market investing is one of the few investments that is out here where that you can start to invest tomorrow, if you're not investing right now, with small sums of money. Whereas other investments, you may need hundreds and thousands of dollars to invest in. You can start investing in the stock market tomorrow with as little as $5 a day, which is only $150. Okay, so we wanted to bring this information not only to young gamers, their parents, their guardians, their mentors, because it's very, very important to learn how to make your money work for you, as adult, your young children, the children that you're guardians of, you're mentoring. Wouldn't you agree, Dennis?
100%. It's so crazy, and I also like to ask the questions to some of those guests, to some of the guests who are tuning in right now. In the chat, have any of you ever played a video game, currently play a video game, or have a child that plays video games? I'm just curious. Give us a thumbs up. Just wanted to get some information from you guys to even see if you're relating to what we're saying, because games are everywhere. I heard me.
Okay. It's okay. Some people are a little shy,
Oh, no worries. Well, a scenario that all the time. Okay, so we got some unshy people.
I just saw
we
some all the time.
That.
Okay.
Yes. So in terms of just the relativity of it, even yourself, like all the time, just think about all that time that is being spent right, while you're engaging in those games. But as Mr. X was saying before, if you were just to take one day and say, hey, I'll put $5 here on this stock or $100, whatever may fit your budget, and you go back to gaming, and the next time you check it out and you're like, wow, I actually made some money on that, and then you can stop gaming but still be making money on that stock because you have people like me who are still going to be playing those games. And you got millions of people who are going to be playing those games. And not only, like I said, people like me, you got the generations under us that are going to be playing those games. And all you did was have to make that investment one time. So with that being said, and everybody always talks about the Nike story, right? Everybody's like, hey, you know, if I would have known about Nike and I'd have, you know, invested in Nike back then, I'd be a millionaire now, right? That same amount of money you would have spent on your first pair of Nikes or first pair of Jordans back then, that stock would have quadrupled right now. Think about Amazon, another stock that if you'd have only invested way back when, what it would have done. And we may have thought, you know, 10 years, 20 years from, it wouldn't have made a difference, right? Because it's like so far gone, but that compounding effect of 10 to 20 years from now, depending on what your investment was, could be 10 to 20s of thousands of dollars. And esports right now has that exact same opportunity. And we're telling it because, and I'm telling you this, just like I said, to make sure it hits home and the relativity of, you may not know the gaming stocks exist, but if you can relate to a Nike or Amazon and see where they were at its inception and how big they were, and how much we utilize those things. I mean, we all need sneakers, right? We don't need Nike, but we need sneakers because why? It's popular, right? And we didn't necessarily knew we needed Amazon until they hit us with next day delivery. So in that regard, if you think about gaming, we may just be playing gaming because it's leisure. It kills time. I had a long day. I want to play some video games, right? A kid might want to play it just because all his friends are on there and he wants to connect with his friends. But at the end of the day, it's being utilized. It is something that is very much active in our lives, but we're just not paying attention to it. And we're hoping that with this course, we get you to start to pay attention to it, and not only pay attention to it, but know which stocks are the ones that are leading the industry. And you'll be surprised that those stocks are just blowing up right before our eyes. But unless you're looking for them and unless you're aware of them or even know which one of your favorite games has a stock, you're missing out on the opportunity because at that point, all you're doing is consuming. You're consuming the entertainment, but you're not getting anything back from that entertainment. So why not, if you get paid to game, why not use that money to invest in that game? So if you buy a new one or you buy a new skin for your child or you buy some type of update now, because back in the day, gaming, you didn't have to pay to win. Nowadays, you literally got to pay to win. So if you want to get a new skin or get to the next level or get better, you actually got to pay for that. So just think of how many people are paying for these skins, paying for these games, and they're not going anywhere. And also with esports, a lot of you may not be familiar that colleges have introduced scholarships for esports. So the same way they give scholarships for your traditional sports like football and basketball, colleges are investing in this, which means if they have a team, that college is not going to get rid of their team the same way they haven't gotten rid of their football team nor their basketball team. And in order to supply that, they have to purchase or utilize these games within their ecosystem. So, and I'm giving all this information to kind of show you how depth and how much opportunity is really there for investing in the gaming industry, whether you love the game or you hate the game, but investment is definitely a way to go. So, Professor X, I'll kind of pass it back to you, and you can kind of chime in a little bit more about the stock aspect of things.
Yes, definitely, Dennis. You know what's so ironic what you just said to me? What you just said about not knowing about Nike and Amazon. I just saw a video this week where Magic Johnson, one of the greatest players to ever play the game, said that he was offered an opportunity to sign up with Nike when he first got into the NBA. But the reason why he didn't sign up with them is because Nike wanted to compensate him not only monetarily, but they also wanted to compensate him with stocks. And he said in the video, so that caused him to just walk away from Nike, and that's why he signed with Converse. you
Mm.
know, because Converse was just giving him the money up front, the big check front. He said, I didn't grow up knowing anything about the stock market. I just passed on it. And look at Nike now, and he regrets it. Obviously, he doesn't need he doesn't need the money, but he's admitting that even now in his 60s that he didn't know anything about the stock market, and had he invested into it, had he signed up with the deal with Nike, which would have included stock options, how much money he could have made, with that. Even Shaquille O'Neal, he was an early investor in Google. Okay, and if you don't know, he's no longer married, to the original wife that he married. But he even said recently that he wished that he would have invested more money when the opportunity, was was presented to him. So stock market investing could change your life. This year, 2023 is the 23rd anniversary of Amazon. 25th anniversary of Amazon. And they've already reported that if you would have invested $1,000 25 years ago, that in 2023, it would be worth $1 million.
Whew.
Could you imagine?
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's
Imagine
crazy.
if somebody in your family just did that, you didn't know about it, it was for you, put it away, walked away from it, and now 25 years later, they're saying to you, Dennis, here's an investment that I created for you that you had no knowledge about. Here, this is for you. I want you to continue to expand and grow your life. So this is the power of stock market investing. Now, I will say this. You don't have to wait, 25 years or 25 years or longer to make money in the stock market. Okay. In the course that we put together, okay, we can show you how you can make money almost immediately. Okay. Or we can show you how you can build money over time. It all depends. How much capital do you have, and how much dedication you're actually going to put to understanding, the stock market, right? So a brief high level overview of what I utilize and what's being taught in the course that we put together, stock market investing strategies for young gamers. So we teach, don't invest your money in companies that you don't understand, right? Mm-hmm. Makes sense, right? Okay. So if you utilize a particular game or games on a multiple basis, you probably have more knowledge about those games than maybe someone else who doesn't even play video games, right? Mm-hmm. So that's really good, right? But you got to do the research, right? You got to go to the company's website, learn about the company, learn about the competitors, learn about what makes that particular gaming company unique or different or better than its competitors, right? But at the same time, you want to know, is that company that you're investigating, right? Are they making money? Are they making money right now with the games that they sell or other services that they sell within their company? Are their sales increasing, from one year to the next? Are their sales higher, let's say in 2023 than it was in 2022? Are their sales higher in 2022 than it was in 2021? Are they generating a profit when you subtract out all of their expenses from their sales or their revenue? Is the company's net worth increasing, which basically means that if you add up everything that the company owns, which is its assets, like the building where all the employees of that gaming company works out of, they probably own that building, right? They maybe they may have a patent, as an example, on a particular game that they put out. Those things have a dollar value. Those are assets. But then the company has expenses, right? What they spend to run the business. So quite simply, if you add up a company's total liabilities, which is its expenses, and subtract it from its total assets, right? Things that they own of value, that will let you know whether or not the company has a positive or negative net worth, right? So these are just a couple different things to help you to evaluate a company, but at the same time, you got to know what's the best price to buy let's say, that individual company. So we teach that in the stock market investing strategies for young gamers course. And as I mentioned before, not only are you learning how to pick individual stocks within the gaming industry in the stock market, or an exchange traded fund that holds a whole bunch of different gaming stocks, but also you're learning how to invest in the stock market in general as a young gamer, and also as a young gamer's parent, guardian, or mentor. So we're really excited about this course. Here to teach the youth, right? Because these are things that I didn't learn growing up. Just to be frank with you, Dennis, I didn't learn these things.
Right.
I don't come from wealth.
Yep.
Okay, but I learned these things over a period of time, just from working in the business world and advising and consulting with people on how to start and grow businesses. And that's the same thing that you're doing in the stock market. So technically speaking, in the stock market, you're not just buying stocks. You are investing your money in a company, no different than any business that you may see in your local community, whether it's the barbershop, the supermarket, the gas station, etc. You're investing your money in a company with the intention of that money growing. Okay, but we teach you how to take calculated risk. Okay, where that it reduces the probability of you losing money in the market. So you're going to get a basic overview of the stock market in this course. You're going to learn about your stock market investing identity. You may prefer to invest in individual gaming stocks in the stock market, or individual stocks in the stock market, or maybe you prefer to invest in ETFs, right? Exchange traded funds. Let me give you an example. Let's say you go to the supermarket right now, right? And you like snacks, potato chips, right? But you don't know which one you want to buy. So maybe you just go buy 5 different bags, right, of different potato chips. Well, that's like an ETF, right? You don't know which gaming stock you want to invest in. So instead of putting your money into one, maybe you put your money in an ETF that has 5 different gaming stocks in there, or maybe 10, right? And you do that consistently, and if these are quality gaming companies, your money will grow over time. So these are just a couple things that you will learn. We're going to about how to open a brokerage account. We're going to even give you a list of brokerage accounts that you can actually investigate, the benefits of investing in the stock market, long term, and much, much more.
Yeah. That's all. That's all great stuff, and just to somewhat piggyback off of kind of what you were mentioning, just think about the gaming industry in terms of its expansion and technology, and is always changing. So before, we had video games that were like 2D, then they went to 3D, and then the graphics got better, and then they're getting into virtual reality, right? So these are all things that continue to grow and expound on the gaming industry as a whole. So the games are only going to get better with the technology that we have, which makes the games more valuable. We all pay for entertainment, whether you're watching a musical or you're going to a concert. At the end of the day, let's just say during a recession, there's certain things that we do. We all want to be entertained. And esports is that new entertainment source that, as we were growing up, we used it, but it's even more so as these young gamers are growing up. This is their lifestyle. Sneakers is a personal style, a personal choice. You might always choose to wear shoes versus sneakers, but the gaming industry is a lifestyle. And what I mean by lifestyle is that the youth of the day is growing up in this industry overall. Like, everything is becoming gamified for them. And these brands that are part of it now have invested billions of dollars into these games because they already know the return they're going to get on their investment, and they have been seeing the return on their investment. And I mentioned it before, but it is global, right? So we may play the games that we know here, but somebody in Africa or China or these other countries that are coming up, they may not be able to afford, let's say, a Nike shoe, but they might be able to afford to download the latest game. So even the cost of entry into this gaming world means more people could actually buy these games, which helps those companies grow. And Professor X had spoke about, well, what are their assets, right? What do they cost? The cost of doing a game is expensive in the beginning and very minimal afterwards. Because, yes, you got to have the coders, design, develop the strategy and all these things. But because it's software, we all know our phone can update at a click of a button, right? If you got the latest iPhone, they tell you next week you got to get another iPhone. What did it cost them to create a code to update it? They didn't come out with, they spent maybe a little bit of money and changed the shelling of it. But it's not as if there's that much investment going into it to make it that much more advanced. So for the gaming industry, at its low cost to scale, is a huge opportunity for young gamers or older gamers to take full advantage of it now. And when he talks about, well, what do you know? You can't really go anywhere without knowing about gaming. If you got a phone, you might even have Candy Crush on your phone. And I'm only saying this just to kind of put it in perspective. Just really take some time as you're watching this video over and over, or even in the course, to think about how you're surrounded by gaming and you don't even know it. Again, if you don't wear Nikes, you're not aware of Nikes. Granted, you didn't invest in Nike, but you are aware, very much aware of the gaming industry and how it's growing up with you, growing up around you. Somebody you know, yourself personally, or your friends' kids or your kids, you know they game. And that alone should kind of show you how big this industry is. And there's probably a reason why they're not talking about it, because too often do we find out behind everybody getting filthy rich off of an industry. As he was mentioning with the basketball players, they found out after the fact, right? And like, man, if I only had that opportunity. So why would you want to miss out on something you can literally see right now? You don't have to necessarily take our word for it in terms of, hey, this is a good idea, but take what we're saying and then see how applicable it is to your life when you look at how many people do I know that play these games. How many people may play Madden or Call of Duty or Super Mario, right? Those are names that I'm sure some of you, if you want to give me a thumbs up who are watching or commenting, just think about it. I don't know you, but if I don't know you but can mention a game that you might be familiar with, there's millions and millions of me who are familiar with that game, who play that game. And the irony of video gaming is we're pretty loyal to the game. And that's probably why we remember it to this day, or why we might even be playing it years from now, because what do? They update it in 2021 and 2022 and 2023. And what do? We go back and buy, not the funny thing, the same game, right? You think about Madden. Madden's been around for years. The only thing that's changed is the players in the game and the graphic. But the thing that we didn't pay attention to is how much that game is costing. So not only do they have a loyal fan base, but as long as football is around, they're always going to have content to create more games. And as long as there's gamers around, they're always going to want to play the new game. So the revolving door is an upward spin. And we're hoping that when you join and take the course, you will get a eyesight of all of that and know how to pinpoint the best stocks that you play, but you could also see, well, I know this person who plays that one, so I might want to invest in that game. And again, while some people are wasting their time on streaming or wasting their time on trying to win tournaments, you're sitting back cheering them on, because the more they play, the more you earn.
That's powerful right there. What you said. It actually reminds me of companies that I actually currently have my money invested into. Mm-hmm. And when I walk into the mall and I see those companies' store, and I see the store full of people that are in there buying the products that those companies are selling, yep. And I'm making money. Yep. You follow me?
I follow you.
That makes me very exciting. So the thing about this here is, instead of only being a consumer of companies' products and services, for pleasure, for leisure, for entertainment, for gaming, which is fine. We all consume, right? We all need to have fun. We have needs, we have wants. At the same time, you could be an owner of these companies that you're buying these products or services or these gaming products from as well. So as they make money off of us consumers, we can also share in that revenue as well. You know, yeah. So a friend of mine used to call it a revenue sharing. This is what he used to tell me. Uh, revenue sharing. So if you own stock in 5 or 6 or 10 gaming companies that you play, that you consume with your friends and your family. And as these companies are selling and other people are buying these gaming companies and consuming, you're making money as well. Your child is making money as well, okay? And you're building wealth for them, and you're giving them a head start. Wouldn't it be great that, let's say right now, if let's say you have a 10-year-old, right? And you never invested any money for them, right? But as you learn about what we're talking about today, and you decide to join, take the information that you learn in the course on their interest in the gaming as their parent, guardian, or mentor. Maybe you may even buy some other shares of stocks of other products that they buy or that they utilize. And then by the time they get to 20 years old, you have a significant amount of money to now give to them to help them to start their life, whether that would be to go to college, go to trade school, start a business, buy their first house, buy their first apartment. That's a game changer, as opposed to starting off your life as an adult, and you really don't have too much to start with. Other than your desire and your work effort, maybe to apply to a job or something. As a matter of fact, by learning how to invest, it actually could spark the interest in your child to become an entrepreneur, right? Mm-hmm. Because if they love games that much, they may come up with their own idea to start their own game, right? That they could sell, mm-hmm. to the public, or a different business that they want to sell. So this is really, really important, because we live in a capitalist society, okay? And if you don't know how to make your money work for you, you're basically trading time for money, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to build any wealth for yourself or your children, or any children that you're guardians of, or that you mentor, you're going to have to learn at some time on how to become an investor. And in this stock market investing strategies for young gamers course, as I mentioned, it focuses on the gaming industry, but it's much bigger than that, because if you understand how to evaluate gaming companies to invest in, that means you could invest in any of these other companies that we potentially had mentioned so far, or others as well, and they could really be a game changer in your life. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I say to myself, and is that I may be with a large group of people, right? And there may be some big, let's say the big lottery, going on. It's $100 million, whatever. And if there's like 20 people there or something, friends or whatever, or a group that I belong to, and if they say, hey, do you want to join? Like $2, whatever, whatever, I may put it in, right? Just for the heck of it, because if we happen to hit it big, I don't want to be the one that that missed out when they brought it to me. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something though. I don't play lotto. I don't play lottery. Okay, because I could use my intelligence and my education of the stock market to evaluate companies and make money. Because let me tell you something, throughout when the pandemic, okay, mm-hmm. there were companies who tanked. But if you were someone that had vision and foresight, right now you could see that many of those companies, they rebounded. So if a company's stock during 2020, let's say was trading at, I don't know, $200 a share, and because of the pandemic, it went down to $90 because, no one could leave their homes, because we all were in lockdown, right? And you had put a significant amount of money in a company like that, right? Which you knew ahead of time is definitely not going out of the business. The only reason that stock went down is because people were not utilizing that service or that product because they couldn't, right? And now it went from $200 to $90, but you bought as much as you could buy at 90, and now it's $300 a share. Well, that's how you build wealth, and that's some of the things that we teach. And there were gaming companies that could have fall in that category. There were other stocks that could have fell in that category. So we, whether you have a little bit of money to invest or the child that you're guarding of, or you have a lot, we have everything here in the course for you, and we've made it affordable and accessible to all. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so with that being said, we're really hoping that you guys will take action because we do have our pre-launch going on. It's on the Long Island Gaming League Instagram page. It's the first link at the top. You can click on it. You can access our pre-launch. You get access to the videos. And, we really hope that from this video, we hope to do more videos because we want to spread the word about the opportunity. If there's anything you heard that actually resonated with you, please share it with everybody because, knowledge is power, but applied knowledge, that's the truth. Because sometimes we hear information and we don't act on it, and then we get mad about the opportunities because we can't say the opportunities don't come. We just get mad when we may not necessarily act on them. So we do appreciate, your time, and we hope that some of the information or just the oversight of kind of giving you a perspective of why we came together from stock marketing, expert to a gaming quote unquote expert, but I do love what I do as far as educating the youth about the opportunities within the industry. We really hope that resonates with you. And then when the course and you take it, you're able to get as much value from that it'll transcend just you tuning into this live webinar, but it'll help to change the life of yourself, the life of the youth that may be around you, or your children in general. So I definitely want to say I appreciate your time and staying here. And for anyone who may see this video a little bit later, we really hope that you may take action as well. And, together we'll all grow in this growing industry. Long Island Gaming League's not going anywhere. Stock market's not going anywhere. So how about we just all go there together?
Yeah, Dennis, and lastly, for the pre-sale for the stock market investment, you're gonna get a discount with it. So you will see it once you click on the link, as Dennis mentioned, in the Long Island Gaming League Instagram page. You're gonna have lifetime access to the course, so you can watch the course as a young gamer or as a young gamer parent or guardian or mentor of a young gamer as many times as you want. The pre-sale ends at the end of this month, okay, October 31st, okay? But as a bonus, anyone who signs up for the pre-sale, okay, for the month of October, I'm going to give all of you a live Zoom meeting with me where that all of the information that you reviewed in the recorded course, that you could come to that live and you could ask me any questions that you have about what you learned as a recap, in addition to any questions that you may have about the stock market. I'm also going to give you in that live a list of stocks that you could potentially invest in the stock market, right? Some of them are going to be gaming stocks. Some of them are going to be non-gaming stocks to help you as the parent, guardian, mentor, an opportunity to build wealth for yourself and also, for your child or your adult. Also going to review the 11 sectors, of the stock market, because there's many different sectors, right? You have the healthcare sector, you have the technology sector, consumer staples, et cetera. So if you have any questions, you could reach out to the Long Island Gaming League on Instagram. You can reach out to Mr. X Stock Market Academy on Instagram. Follow us. We look forward to bringing you this high pack information. You're not going to be, disappointed. We promise you. We're here to serve the community, help the community as much as we can. And Dennis, I saw somebody had asked a question.
About Smash. Yes.
Yeah, you saw that.
So yeah, I saw the Smash, and DM us on Instagram, and we'll talk to you about getting those tournaments going. It's amazing to have the #2 Smash Bros player here on Long Island. That's a lot of that says a lot about Long Island. So definitely make sure to DM us on at LI Gaming League on Instagram, and we'll definitely see about setting up a tournament for you, and we can all have a good time.
Yes. So, Dennis, they're able to purchase the course now?
Yes, they can. They can literally go right now. As soon as you're watching this, you just go to at ligamingleague.com, click on our link tree, and you will see the pre-order link, and you can purchase it right away and have access to the course.
Okay, great. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, we encourage you, follow, the Mr. X Stock Market Academy.com on Instagram, Long Island Gaming League. We're here to provide valuable content, for young gamers, young individuals, parents, mentors, schools, etc. Any questions about the pre-launch, don't hesitate to reach out to the Long Island Gaming League through Instagram or the Mr. X Stock Market Academy. Any final words?
No. I just didn't know if anybody who is watching the live, if you have any questions for us, you can comment. If you want to give us any feedback, if you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. We appreciate your support and kind of rocking with us for as long as you did. We had a lot of people pop in and out, but we also know some of you guys stayed. So definitely gratitude to you. And, so other than that, I have nothing else to say other than game with us.
Okay. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for your time. This evening, hopefully you got a lot of value out of attending this live, and we look forward to working with you through the course.
All right, everybody.
All right. Okay, Dennis, we'll talk soon.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you.
All right, same here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.